Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is the Sunday Night News. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessa is expected to address the nation at this time. We are on standby for the Prime Minister's address, and as soon as we have a word that the signal is ready, we will be joining to that feed. But in the meantime, let's continue with the news of the day. A grand welcome is being planned tomorrow morning for the arrival of the Olympic stars at the Piarco International Airport. According from a release from the Ministry of Sport, the athletes, including our tomorrow morning. And as the national spotlight continues to beam on Togo, the village that produced Trinidad and Tobago's gold medal at the recent Olympics, the MP for the area, Rupert Griffith, visited the family today to talk about what kind of rewards the athlete may be receiving from the government.
How do you reward the dedication and sacrifice that 19-year-old Kishon Walcott has poured into his sport, which resulted in him winning a gold medal at the Olympics? Kishon's MP, Rupert Griffith, visited his family today to get their suggestions in private for his reward. The minister has some initial thoughts of his own.
We would like to do something for the unit trust for him. Did she talk to you about that? And she said you have no problem with that. And secondly, we would like to have a dinner for him someplace in the region. I am here to talk with you to talk to Kishon when he arrives tonight and see what he would like us to do for him, for making us proud and for who he is, the kind of athlete he is.
The MP is providing 3 buses to take Kishon's family and his Toko supporters to the airport to greet our newest sporting superstar tomorrow morning. Kishon's mother is overwhelmed by it all and says she's just going with the flow. But his father, who described himself as elated, had some suggestions.
As a young man, I would like, there's aspiration and inspiration to all the youths throughout the nation of Trinidad and Tobago. Togo have a lot of talents. I would like them to harness it because don't leave it from like how my son is just 4 years. He started to do what he do. They started from a younger stage to put facilities in place.
Kishon's father would like his gold to be a reward not just for his son, but for the entire Toko community as well.
All the grounds in Toko, it's just dilapidated. We need them to upgrade. And, well, as man say, my son will become a big celebrity. We could name something in Toko after him, for a stadium or something.
And while CNC3 News brought you the exclusive shots of the Walcott family's reaction to the gold on Saturday, his dad said the entire village was abuzz last night.
Friends, family celebrating the occasion. We stay up almost throughout the night just discussing it and talking about the achievement, you know.
Reporting for CNC3 News, I'm Charlene Ramdani.
And local government minister Suraj Rambachan has also expressed his congratulations for Kishon's success at the Olympics.
This has been the best Olympics of Trinidad and Tobago, and to have a 19-year-old win an Olympic gold in his first outing at the Olympics, says so much about Trinidad and Tobago. It also says to us that we must not only look in the urban centers for talent, but we must look in the rural communities. Toko is a place which has produced a lot of good sprinters and good cricketers, including Mervyn Dillon, who played for the West Indies. And now you have the talent of young Walcott coming to the forefront. So we have to go all over Trinidad and ensure that everyone in this country has an equal opportunity.
Now, an 88-year-old woman had to climb through a window in order to escape the flood waters that ravaged the Digger Martin area and her home in Rich Plain. Tonight, she is appealing for help. We've got the story from Samuel McKnight.
88-year-old spiritual Baptist leader, Reverend Daisy Faustin, managed to wade through 5 feet of water in her home at Rich Plain Digger Martin in the early hours of Saturday morning. She escaped through a 6-feet-high window. Her front and back doors were blocked by the debris. The elderly woman then sought help to rescue her bedridden husband. Reverend Faustin, having lived through the harrowing experience, is now appealing for help.
88, and my husband is 94. We really need help. I really need it.
No. The brave woman was able to help another woman who lives in the house escape via the window she fled. The leader of the Mount Zion Spiritual Baptist Church says she believes it was God and only God that saved her.
I just tell people it's not your religion, it's not the church you follow, it's not the pastor, it's not the mother, it's you and your God.
Her neighbor Solomon Brito was not so lucky, as the heavy rains took him and his house away. His body was found buried under tons of debris on the Diego Martin Main Road late in the morning. For CNC3, I am Samuel McKnight.
We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue with our stories that take a look at some of the conditions in Diego Martin today, 24 hours after the devastating floods.
Orange juice drink with real fruit pulp. Pulp up your life with new Minute Maid Pulpy.
Fresh from KFC, the new Spicy Crunch Sandwich.
Spicy
Crunch. Juicy thigh filet with a hot and spicy kick. KFC, so good.
Going away to shop, you've booked your flight, hotel, and you got your visa. You bought a laptop, flat screen TV, sneakers for the kids, home theater system. Oh, and that juicer for mom. Stuff that into your suitcase and keep it under 50 pounds. You must be a magician. Leave the magic to us. Maybe you don't have a U.S. visa, but you want to shop abroad. We provide a physical U.S. address for your online purchases. There are no volumetric charges, free local delivery, and the lowest rates guaranteed. Start shopping online today. Change the way you shop. Enjoy the way you save. Do not risk your life using ladders and homemade scaffolds. Rent your scaffolds and be safe. Visit DMA Transport and Scaffolding Services Limited. We specialize in tube and clamp, H-frame, cup lock, and acro props. We have an excellent reputation for our high-quality products, competitive prices, fast delivery times, reliable service, constant adherence to on-site safety, certified scaffolders. We also specialize in general construction and maintenance services. So visit or call DMA Transport and Scaffolding Services Limited, number 91st Street, Barataria. Telephone 674-6178.
Mrs. B is happy. She's happy because she knows every bottle of Smolta is filled with B vitamins, ideal for growth, concentration, and vitality. Give them their B's. Smolta, because you love them.
Enroll now at Nazi Cricket Academy, where you can practice like a pro using modern automated equipment, improve cricket skills, fine-tune technique, or simply become a stronger cricketer. Open Monday to Thursday at the Caltrack Club, Hussein Street, California, and Friday to Sunday at the Paragon Sports Club, West Moorings. Call us at 725-2867 or visit nazitt.com for more information.
I'm Shadran Chandrapal and I endorse Nazi Cricket Academy.
Nazi, promoting clever cricket.
Welcome back. Following the heavy rains in West Trinidad yesterday morning, several areas have been left devastated, and there are mixed views on the responses to the crisis. Residents are making various demands, as we hear from Samuel McKnight.
2 hours on Saturday morning, heavy rainfalls at Matches Avenue, Rich Plain, brought down the mountainside, resulting in the death of Solomon Brito and the destruction of several properties. Now, 24 hours later, no assistance has come to the residents, and they are appealing for help.
Dozens of homes were lost during the heavy rainfalls, with people being killed. Cleanup operations started in some areas yesterday and continued through the night and this morning. But while some were satisfied, others were not. At Rich Plain, Kenneth Betancourt made this appeal.
The system here is very standstill. Nobody come yet. they ain't organized nothing yet. I'm still waiting for himself a bobcat to come in and start to operate and take out the debris. And when they take out the debris, then we could wash down and do other work.
Along the Western Main Road, Matthew Munderoy, though satisfied, made this appeal.
I would like to see some more help, right, in the Gomartin here to clear out the drains and so on. We'd like to see some of those who lost most of the things that they have get back, probably the fridge, you know, mattresses, the bare necessities and things too now. You know, we ain't asking for much, we just asking for a start back over.
Over at Cyanide Drive, Norman Da Costa, though recognizing there were areas that were worse off than him, made this appeal.
I think everybody is totally fed up. It's 5 years now that we live in here, and every year we have to I get twice in 1 year already. This is the 6th time since I'm living here. And it's just an ongoing thing. Westmoreland River, the entrance there is always full of silt. Nobody sees after it, even though they tell you they're dragging it. And that ain't really true. They make us if, as far as I could tell you.
At La Porta, Leon Bentham says he hoped his cousin's death was not in vain.
I hope that they see this as something bigger than even them could even think about, and make a big effort and a big step to do something for the people in the area. It's not just for my family. I don't speak for myself or my family. I speak for everybody in La Porta, especially the people on the hill.
For CNC3, I am Samuel McKnight.
A 24-year-old Canadian woman was detained this morning at the Piarco International Airport. This after she failed to get past security while $2 million worth of cocaine was strapped to her body and hidden under her clothing. Patricia Natasha Antwine of Fairwood Circle in Brampton, Toronto, who's a sociology student at York University, was remanded in custody and will appear before the Arima Magistrates Court tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, charged with drug trafficking. The student tearfully appeared before Justice of the Peace Akbar Khan this morning, only stating she was sorry and that some Jamaicans were allegedly behind the deal. Antwine faces criminal charges, a fine, and could be sentenced to prison. Also, an appeal is being made for businesses in Chaguanas to show their patriotism and decorate their businesses for the upcoming Golden Jubilee of Independence. The Borough Corporation was busy today putting up red, white and black along the Chaguanas Main Road. Both the Deputy Mayor and Local Government Minister made appeals to businesses.
We are anticipating that they will come out and, do this decoration in full force. But there are a lot of banks, there are a lot of insurance companies, big business in Chaguanas, and we are not seeing and we are not getting that kind of support from those big businesses in Chaguanas. For one reason or the other, I don't know, but we are calling, we are pleading that they should come together to make sure that Chaguanas is the best decorated area in Trinidad and Tobago for independence.
You have to have a sense of patriotism to really get involved in the celebrations and to do so in a very genuine way. I think the business community will in fact put up decorations during this week, and I want to encourage them to do that.
Stop building houses on the hills of the West, says the Digger Martin Central MP, Dr. Keith Rowley. We have this report from Samuel McKnight.
Member of Parliament for Diego Martin West, Dr. Keith Rowley, was in the field today assessing the damage done by heavy floods on Saturday morning, while bringing some comfort to his constituents via hampers. While commending Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar on her visiting the areas shortly after disaster struck, he questioned the areas being declared a national disaster zone.
I don't understand what she means by a declaration that the area is a disaster area, because that statement normally carries with it a certain specific response from the state, that certain specific budgetary allocations will be made to treat with the problem.
He says he has been in contact with several local disaster response agencies, and none are aware of what this really means. He also suggested that the constructions of homes on hills on the west should be stopped immediately.
Across these valleys in the northern range, I think we have gone as far up as we should be going. And I think the government of Trinidad and Tobago now needs to intervene and stop any development going beyond where we are at the moment. And my suggestion is that we do consecutive numbering of all the existing houses on these hillsides and have strict law enforcement preventing any further climb up these hillsides.
For CNC3, I am Samuel McKnight.
Admitting there are some challenges caused by broken WASA lines, the director of PURE in the Ministry of Works, Hayden Phillips, promises the 500-plus residents of Gittonsdale West Moorings who were affected after their roadway was washed away from heavy rains will see relief. He also expressed concern over indiscriminate cutting of large trees around that area, which are very much responsible for the destruction.
We provide a temporary access so TNT can go in and because some emergencies in there, and we continuing. And I think by 6, 7 o'clock, all the residents will be able to come in and out of this area. Apparently some sort of cutting is taking place uphill, that's what we heard. And however they get rid of the trees, they just left their line. So when the rain falls, what happens, they see the size of the bridge there. So everything comes down, block the bridge, debris, whatever, and everything came and washed away the road. If these things don't stop, we'll always have to be coming in and doing these emergencies over and over.
Well, as we told you earlier, we were expecting a link with the feed that will broadcast the Prime Minister's statement to the nation, and we've had word that that's happening right now. So let's join that right this minute.
This weekend, I would say that over this weekend, in Trinidad and Tobago, we experienced the best of times, and some may indeed say the worst of times. As I reported yesterday, a deluge of 4 inches of rainfall in just over 2 hours produced a level of flooding unlike anything ever experienced before, causing loss of 2 lives and millions of dollars in damage to property. Indeed, it doesn't express the trauma of the families that we have visited and others who were really devastated over the flooding that took place. Today, I want to renew my expression of sympathy for those who lost their loved ones and to others who lost their homes and material possessions. That was indeed one of our worst of times. But the level of professionalism, the quick reaction by our first reaction response team ensured that the situation was not nearly as bad as it could have been. Within minutes, the ODPM, the Ministry of National Security, triggered its emergency response procedure through the local government ministry, activating a number of our ministries and organizations into a multifaceted and integrated unit, which began immediate cleanup, rescue, and evacuation procedures. As I said before, I have just completed a second tour of several areas. And whilst the situation is vastly improved from yesterday, there are still so many of our citizens in the north of our island, particularly in Diego Martin, who have so much to do by way of cleaning up and renovations. Several ministries are being allowed to access emergency funding to deal with the situation at hand, and I've instructed the Ministry of National Security to deploy even more manpower to assist our citizens. I have asked for several updated reports throughout the day to be provided directly to me so I can ascertain how effectively our resources are being deployed. Indeed, earlier today, the key agencies and the line ministries met here with me at the Diplomatic Center for several hours as we continue to coordinate to get an improvement in delivery and in relief work. I will also be establishing a hotline through which citizens can make calls to express their level of satisfaction or dissatisfaction with the ongoing efforts so that we can improve our efforts in this regard. The deployment of more manpower and other resources will be in evidence tomorrow, and I will resume my tour together with my ministers of the affected areas. In the midst of the natural disaster, I am heartened by the sense of neighborliness that was displayed by our citizens. So many friends and family came together to help each other. Indeed, today, when we visited the house of an elderly lady, she pointed at us, there were about 10 young men, and she said they all came together to assist and to help her, as happened in many other homes. Today, Sunday, even those who were affected lent support to others, and people were driving to each other's homes to assist in the cleanup. It seemed that the spirit of camaraderie and being your brothers and sisters' keepers flowed so strong as the floodwaters and brought much needed relief and hope to so many in our country. I respectfully urge all citizens who wish to come forward to help, to form themselves into support units, to pledge your support through BBM messages, Twitter, Facebook, SMS, or any other means of forming groups. And indeed, you can call 511 to inquire what area of support you may wish to give. Call 511 for those of you who wish to assist. In addition, I would say for those of you who have been affected or citizens who are in distress, you are also to call 511 to record your circumstances and to request assistance. And so it is. In the midst of one of the worst of our times came an abhorrent empathy and help for each other to bring out the best in all of us. I say this evening that your government is committed to doing everything to bring relief and support to every single citizen affected by the storm over the weekend. And again, I repeat, call 511 to request assistance. There was a goal lining amongst dark clouds yesterday as we received the news that young 19-year-old Kershawn Walcott from Trinidad and Tobago had become the youngest javelin thrower in Olympic history to win gold, and I would say congrats to him. He will become, with that goal, a beacon of light and inspiration to the youth of our land, to dream the impossible dream and to do the best that you can with your own abilities. I too used to pelt mangoes, but I don't think I graduated to javelin throwing. So young Kershawn, we say God bless you and we thank you. And so yesterday, I know many hugged and cried as Kershawn stood on the platform and our national anthem was played. I was told that some citizens stood before whatever TV sets they could find, at the time tears streaming down their mud-caked faces as they cried with pride and in celebration of themselves and of our great nation. Trinidad and Tobago had secured gold in our Golden Jubilee year. Just minutes later, we were again blessed as we celebrated when our men's 4x100 team brought home the bronze medal. Indeed, for me and my team, we were on tour in Diego Martin, and so we didn't get to get the TV coverage, but we got the radio coverage. My security detail made sure we got it in the car. And I became a little concerned because they were both clapping and shouting and crying when it was announced. I got a little concerned if we might have lost the roadway. But again, every single citizen who witnessed that yesterday would have felt the joy of our young son, Kershawn. What it meant now is that Trinidad and Tobago had secured our best performance ever in all of the Olympics we participated in, with the largest number of qualifications and 4 medals, including that gold. I have received so many calls from so many quarters asking in what way shall we commemorate this occasion, to express the immense joy in the hearts and minds of every citizen of our great nation over the excellent performance of our Olympic athletes in London. And I'm reminded today by my Minister of Sport that our first Prime Minister, Dr. Eric Williams, when his tenure as Prime Minister, received gold for Trinidad and Tobago throw athletes at the Olympics. And now as a sitting Prime Minister, 50 years later, we celebrate gold again in our Golden Jubilee year. 36 years. 36 years in our Golden Jubilee year. And so, how do we commemorate this? There are many things that we can do. Our elation, our renewed sense of patriotism, our bolstered pride in the red, white, and black began with the journey of our Olympic stars to London some weeks ago. 30 of our young men and women departed our country, carried with them dreams of athletic greatness and a solemn promise to do us proud as the world looked on at the best performing athletes in the world competing. With each event our athletes competed in, dreams were fulfilled, greatness was achieved, and our patriotic spirit was renewed in very majestic fashion. Our Olympic athletes not only validated our belief and faith in their superior sporting talent, but once again they proved to the world that Trinidad and Tobago is a force to be reckoned with, winning 1 gold and 3 bronze medals. And indeed, I believe our Minister of Sport 12 finals. So we're on top of the world in 12 finals. This evening, the privilege is mine and ours here on behalf of the government and myself and the people of Trinidad and Tobago to congratulate these young men and women for being bold enough to dream big dreams, for being tenacious enough to believe in those dreams, and indeed for being courageous enough to fulfill those dreams. Trinidad and Tobago's anthem and flag have become synonymous with determination, with excellence, with humility, with performance, with patriotism, and indeed with national pride. Our people and our passion have now become international benchmarks for greatness. Our exceptional young men and women have, without even knowing it, given reason and purpose to millions around the world to believe that whatever the challenges, greatness begins with a bold vision and can be achieved with hard work, dedication, devotion. Today, many have reaffirmed their belief that whatever the challenges they face, victory can come. Victory can come. Trinidad and Tobago's first Olympic achievement came, as I said before, 36 years ago, in the year we became a republic. At that time, we felt a sense of triumph, which motivated our belief that there can be no obstacle, however towering, that can take victory from our hands. Today, a new generation of citizens is privileged to feel what we felt all those years ago, with the added good fortune of knowing that the profound joy they feel came from achievements of their own bears. And so, fellow citizens, I say, in this the year of a golden jubilee of independence, there can be no better gift than the Olympic glory our young stars have brought us, and indeed from Keshawn Walcott bringing gold in our golden jubilee. For this reason, on behalf of you citizens, I convey my most sincere gratitude to Keshawn and indeed to all our Olympians. I say again, in particular, we pay tribute to Keshawn Walcott, gold